points on a cross-map rotate are very good signs for them.
Yeah, it was like that 1 week of Pro League that we saw VP get gifted like 4 or 5 rings. It was insane, like the lottery at that point that week. But it hasn't really been that same RNG favoring them here as we get set up into our second game within our 10-match series, our second game on World's Edge, as well as our last game on World's Edge before we make our transition over to E-District.
Yeah, for Alliance, they need to convert this one. Again, it was a first pick onto a 2-map set for themselves here on World's Edge. For 100 Thieves, picking up Climatizer was also a first-round pick for them, and they have already been able to bear the fruits of that one. We'll see if they can do it again. They have a lot of teams around them. Shopify Rebellion over at Survey Camp, Gaming Gladiators over at Epicenter, and VK Gaming at Overlook. The thing is, these teams do like to move a little bit earlier on. There's not going to be that much friction here on the northeast side as we get our first look at the ring.
Where we're moving to, where we're going. We take a look at where the zones pull in, maybe not so far from Skyhook, but still pull into that south side, right by Go Next, right by NRG, where they land over by Landslide. So they have that information already with that ring console here as they find their positioning. Fusion, SA as well. Great pull here, and you talk about Climatizer and our winners from game number 1, 100 Thieves. Of course, they can get an evac tower, try to rotate from that north side unless they want to take an early fight versus Shopify. There's a jump tower right there on the outskirts of that Evo Harvester, or if they want to backtrack a little bit, there's another jump tower closer to that replicator.
Yeah, for 100 Thieves, they have a lot of options, right? They've got multiple balloons. They could basically chain them. That's what World's Edge was built off of, to be able to do that. But it's S8UL currently moving now. With this ring in particular, this is the building I want to see get taken up. I am expecting this ring to pull basically between the train tracks, between Lava Fissure and Mirage Etoile, and just outside of this building. So S8UL have picked up an extremely strong building to play off of, especially with Watson still in play. And we have other teams moving in as well. S8UL, we had already mentioned. Fusion, now making their way on over to Mirage Etoile. We've got RRX, who of course do drop at Lava Fissure, are not going to play that priority, going to play more of that building towards the center of a Lava Fissure on the right-hand side. NRG making their way on in, and as well, Team Liquid taking their time over at Tree, because they just don't have the priority on this one.
Yeah, 2 zones pulling towards the opposite end of your POI. A little unfortunate, but of course you get to play objective. Liquid were able to pick up early KP, that 1 KP in that first game as it started, and they're going to be able to get that ring console. Don't think they had one over by launch site. They had that Survey Beacon, they had the Evo Harvester. So it works into this objective gameplay here. And if they wanted to, they could just wrap around from Thermal Station. They could wait on the edge of the next zone. Then they could get the next ring console scan and take their time to figure out where they want to find themselves here, so that way they can have a better game this time around.
Yeah, if they make their way back into Thermal Station now, they will have that, like you had mentioned, a man scan. And we got to see teams really utilize that during the Skyhook one. And I think the approach to this ring in particular will be very much the same. Right now, we have about half the lobby inside the next zone. We have a fight here. Evos versus Crazy Raccoon already with the advantage over at Mod.
Evos getting there just as quickly, already getting that next knock. This is coming out of their POI of Dome, and just like that, they wipe the floor as Crazy Raccoon is eliminated. Great looks here for Evos, and uncontested, obviously. So many teams already quickly on their rotate. This is going to be a quick reset for them. They have all the loot that they need, as well as that ring console and Survey Beacon after they came out of Dome. And they wanted to do this too, because on their rotate, Dome does not have a ring console. There was one on the south side of Stacks, but then they just completely out-wrapped Crazy Raccoon there.
Yeah, Crazy Raccoon always have to be careful with these northern pools. Well, I guess not, right? Because this is the last World's Edge. But I mean, that was the biggest concern if you're going to be Crazy Raccoons. Whenever we do have all the teams drafting Big Mod, Stacks, and Dome, about the rotates from behind you. So you have to be able to move so much faster. To be caught like that is not something that should ever really happen with the experience that we have on World's Edge. GG getting stopped in their tracks as they're left on the northeast side of the next zone. They'll be able to pick up this Evo for themselves and play off of the tower for now, but it does seem like a lot of that eastern side is relatively free for themselves. Shopify Rebellion are standing in their way just outside of Countdown. So they got to be careful on this approach.
with Ash being the most picked legend thus far in this second game. We won't be seeing Ash anymore. Moving forward here, Fusion playing off this high ground as we get a quick pause, it looks like here, but talking specifically about this positioning from Fusion, they were looking down briefly. I'm expecting probably a team playing on the low ground of Mirage Etoile, JD Gaming, I believe it is. And as they do hold this positioning for right now, there is that survey beacon to their south side. They could deny that information from teams that also are forced to play objective, playing more so by the edge to get that information.
Yeah, that's a little bit interesting that they opt to go for that Mirage Etoile, because you also had staging kind of available, and staging did have a ring console still in play for the next zone. So teams could have actually used that as their stop-off points, but I think trying to get a little bit more priority onto the center of the next zone could be the gameplay here. I mean, for Fusion though, it might just be Kimchi Lee. I don't know. If we're talking about players, Kimchi Lee feels like one of the primest players that wants to hang out in Mirage Etoile.
The fact that he also is feeling hot coming out from getting 4 KP in that first game alone, you get a little anxious sometimes here on wanting to continue the action. That was a quick pause for real. All right, Frame 1 getting right back into the game here, guys. Fusion still holding on to the higher ground. They are looking down on JD Gaming. Kind of forced out from JD Gaming. They did make their rotate from Thermal Station. They also had that ring console that we mentioned when Team Liquid was on their rotate, probably planning that out for their mapping. Or their pathing, rather. As Evos, we get to see a look at the replay. Missed a little bit of the beginning here before we saw the slide in. And it was a quick cleanup here from their end, the side-by-side, while the action has slowed down just a little bit live.
Yeah. And just a quick update, of course, Evos is Ronin for those that weren't kept abreast of all the org changes, I guess, leading up into this event. Ronin had a fantastic run there at the EMEA regional finals. There was so much drama for that finals leading into it. It came down so close to that last game.
I love it. I love being able to introduce like the legend bands here and how that's shaped things up, especially once we get into that match point finals territory here. But these legends are vying for in our second pools. You can see the pings right behind them, the snare on the other side. Ash being utilized here majority of the time, so allowing a lot of these teams to close in that gap once they want to try to fully extend on another team.
Energy were able to get a knock onto a Go Next player. Go Next playing inside of Countdown right now. For Rock Esports currently though, they are playing on that south side, holding that staging. They do have that ring console that they really do want to control. And I love how we slowly introduce more and more objectives here in Apex Legends, so that during the mid game we have a lot more to play around instead of just kind of holding in center zone in a building, right? And so Rock Esports are working their hardest to make sure that no team contested for it. But VPR here for Shopify Rebellion. They're making their way into Countdown right now. A knock onto Light. They want to follow up.
I'm gonna do this quickly too. Onto Blast. Gaming Gladiators now is forced to scramble. Looks like maybe a solo left as Go Next, neighboring that of Shopify, dropping down to get some loot. Of course, with no Alter in this lobby, you can't remotely grab that loot. That's what's so good about Alter in a skyhook zone like that, right? So you're not starved of loot. Not gonna be the case here, at least for Shopify, as they're gonna be able to get right back onto high ground here. They know that this is clear. You can see the crypto drone in the mini-map, just getting a nice overhead scan to make sure that there's nobody creeping up behind them.
And unfortunately for GG, they're playing the Sparrow, not the Crypto, like the majority of the lobby is. So he's not going to have the same access to just fly in with the drone, get all that, and get out. And he's also running into Alliance there. For Rival Esports, though, they have slowly worked their way up the train tracks. This one is not going over towards Lava Fissure. It's a pull back into Landslide. So for all the teams that banked on it going over to Lava Fissure, they are going to have some of the most difficult rotates in. NRG can gatekeep teams like S8UL, RRX in very strong power positions, because NRG will also have the backing of Go Next that's in the building to their north. So we have a spread of like 3 teams really keeping those teams out from the western side.
It's so hard to rotate too from that Lava Fissure side because it's out in the open, right? You have some rocks, you have those like 3 bins there too, but once you have to get right through the under part of the track and you're forced to play off that low ground there, you kind of could use the hill to get out of the line of sight of other teams. It's hard. You're gonna have multiple multiple different angles that you're gonna have to cover for yourself. And depending on the legend compositions that you're rocking, yeah, we have that one catalyst, I believe, here in this lobby. You have the Ashe here too to get out of trouble in case you only have one member of your team left, and it happens to be the Ashe in that case. But it's difficult depending on what that composition is. Maybe the Newcastle that we see BKG that likes to rock.
Yeah, 100 Thieves right now fighting it out with VP. We saw them help take them out in third place. They want to find a little bit more here. Slayer caught behind this bin. He's on that Watson, but 100 Thieves now caught up in the EMP, slowed down just a bit. Verholz throws down that mobile cover for themselves as VP are able to reestablish themselves, reset in this fight. The syringe down for Slayer. Zach gets that bat off in time, but Slayer takes enough damage as Jen Burton wants to chase after it.
Nice and steady here before they slide in. Zach trying to provide the cover fire, but point blank, they get the trade here. Lou being able to get that knock onto Jen. Phony now wrapping around the crates before sliding in with the Devo. That's all he needs. Nice jump with the double jump on the Sparrow, but it's a suppressed fire just so that way they can get the rest. That's the difference in the composition that we just saw right there with Jen now being able to get the reset on the med kit.
100 Thieves not slowing down, adding on another 3 KP to the 25 points they got in game number 1. Extremely strong win for them. Slow, methodical fight coming out from 100 Thieves. They're looking now to try and make this back-to-back, and they, honestly, with the position that they were able to win with that team fight up against VP, clearing out that south side, they have a huge opportunity. Now they have easy access into Landslide, will have a lot of cover to play off of as they make their way on in, and then have time to respond to that next ring pull.
They're feeling themselves. I mean, 3 KP already on the board. After coming out of that dub, coming in from that south side, after taking their time, they got in that ring console too, over by staging like you mentioned here. As Fusion still taking their time still on the top of Mirage Etoile. You could see the pings from afar because the crypto drone is scanning ahead just to help plan out their pathing. But it's going to be a big pileup over by that south side with a lot of teams maybe not wanting to overcommit over from the western side of that next circle pool. NRG are looking to gatekeep, and so is Go Next. And VK Gaming, with the composition that we mentioned, the Catalyst, the Newcastle, the Sparrow, they're settled in up on that high ground closer to that Mythic bin, and it's nade galore here, raining nades from every direction, not hitting anything, maybe hitting some ghosts here. Rival Esports up on the high ground are going to keep holding this position.
They're trying to turn the screws onto SBI, forcing out that Ashe portal. Ooh. There's a knock onto Mike with the help from Twisted Minds, on the verge of getting knocked out here. We got Unlimited versus Alliance right now. Unlucky, down to 1 HP. It's Naoki in a 1v1, but does he have enough HP to stay alive? No, Hawkins is able to finish him off. Alliance stay alive for now, and the third party is not coming. It's just one member of Shopify Rebellion. Looking to see what's going on here, guys.
I'm a little nervous, that triple take from afar here. He still was able to survive getting out of their line of sight. It was Poipo who looked like he was able to get a care package, or maybe the Mythic bin that had spawned close by them. Or no, it was a care package rather, because he's got the red helmet. He's got that triple take too. Makes your eyes water. In effect, is going to be able to reset here, get the loot that they need with the rest of Alliance, and they'll be able to walk in from that north side.
We still do have the Mythic bin available there over at Landslide, but no team has been able to secure it. It's out there by the tower on the northern end, so can't really go out there. Shopify Rebellion have an angle on it. Twisted Minds. We know how Landslide plays out, and right now, 100 Thieves are having to deal with one of the issues of pulling out from that vault tunnel right now. Game and Gladiators, though, are trying their best to survive here, and 100 Thieves might be able to knock them out again.
Oh, the Twisted Minds mascot, by the way. Team Liquid coming alive behind a Newcastle wall, setting up with the Watson fences right behind them. They're desperate. They know they have to try to gatekeep this team right in front of them. Fusion get eliminated, too. Team Liquid, with some help from NRG, they pitch the team right in front of them. S8 get eliminated. RRX somehow, as a solo, I believe, still alive here, as Team Liquid now have to look behind them to prevent Rival Esports from walking up.
That was the big gatekeeping opportunity we were talking about for a lot of the teams coming from that western edge. Go Next, NRG, Team Liquid along with Rival Esports could have really held that down, but Rival Esports were, of course, a little bit more busy dealing with SBI behind them. But you can see now Team Liquid starting to make their way forward. It's NRG on the other side of this fight, and this is going to be a consequential one.
They got him. I was going to say, RX with that one solo that was still left jumped over Team Liquid's heads while they were trying to avoid getting pinched by NRG, and Team Liquid then were able to get that KP in their pocket with 13 squads left now. SBI Esports looking to gatekeep energy over to the north side, having a stare down versus Team Liquid.
Yeah, NRG, no, this is our only fight that we have to worry about. Go Next are taking it to Shopify right now. Gaming Gladiators, they've been sieged by 100 Thieves. Let's listen in to hear they handled this fight.
Knock up. How long does it go out of here?
How much do you have?
I mean, I can't do anything, bro.
I can tip you in 2%.
Okay, okay.
Live.
No knock for you. We're living.
Close forward. Take it.
Is it on the platform at least?
Yeah, it is. It is inside.
Let's go. Go to the other
Close back
side.
to me. Close back to me.
Trying. I'm gonna get
Knock,
fast.
knock.
I can't. I don't know if you can res, bro. I'm not gonna
I'm lost.
I'm in this corner. I can't go anywhere else. No knock. I'll come over in a second. No knock. No gen.
Do you have gen? Okay.
No.
Knock me. Oh, I don't have.
No.
It's fine, Bandit.
I can fend. It's fine. I can't grow right now. With him.
Have heals?
I only have 2 ranges.
Fucking.
It's all good.
They cannot push us.
They
won't push us.
No one can push us, bro. We're like in shot here.
And 100 Thieves, they're not able to finish the job quite yet, but that does leave GG down as a duo. Didn't quite see if they had a mobile respawn beacon. They might have time to try and plug them all in as the teams now coming in with the zone. 100 Thieves were able to alleviate the pressure on the south. We got Rock Esports moving in from that southwest zone. Team Liquid in that race up against NRG, lost out on one.
I look like a chameleon right now. Getting all this information in front of us. Gaming Gladiators as that duo get eliminated. Shopify meets them back in the lobby. We saw this triple side-by-side with Team Liquid playing off that low ground, but it's SBI who are trying to gatekeep them originally, who are still holding on to the high ground. Team Liquid forced to play this out as a duo. They try to fully extend, though, sliding it together. Hawadis trying to clutch it out, though, taking way too much damage as this Newcastle gets the nice hits with the P20s. Oh, he was so close, but they give him a haircut just enough to finish off Team Liquid.
I still like Liquid going for that. 100 Thieves will get eliminated. Alliance take them out. They have cleared out the eastern edge of this zone. Now they have it all free to themselves. VK Gaming to the north as NRG are still dealing with that western edge, getting a knock onto one rival member, finishing him off as well, making it so much easier now to walk in, but they still have to deal with SBI Esports. Alliance now taking this high ground tower for themselves. Effect up top on this Ash. Now we'll see if he can start getting some pressure on two. What was that? Twisted Minds. Backslon, though, pushing forward with Rock. It's SBI Esports trying their best to survive.
Rival Esports are trying to at least see if they can get that res going with that Moby being right in front of them, and they do. They do get the respawn here. 5 squads left. Rock Esports get eliminated here. VK Gaming on the outskirts of Rival Esports, while NRG are taking their time to rotate. They're trying to take a good amount of space with the Crypto Drone being able to scan ahead. They hear a fight going on, though, between Alliance and Twisted Minds. Enemy just trying to see if they can get the reset, but with a blue Evo Shield and a red Evo Shield on the other side of Alliance. I believe it's Effect that are right here. Yes, he throws out that Thermite. He's not going to put himself out in the open because NRG are waiting to pounce if they have the opportunity.
Yeah, we do have the drone out now for Hawkins, but he doesn't need it. Effect will finish off Twisted Mind, and now Alliance with 13 kill points, full control over the map. They were able to bounce back after game number 1, and they're on the verge of taking this.
It's the fact that Hawkins is always in that Crypto Drone and it's sending out his Pokemon, right? It's Effect and Unlucky just going out and doing what he's got to do best. Just a mob boss waiting out here in the shadows as they hold on to the high ground and top of that platform here too. NRG, who had heard that fight earlier though, are looking to see what's going on. The EMP, NRG, that's Hawkins giving that information. Look at these shots with the 30-30. Unlucky with 5 KP, 5 assists. Alliance are flying with 14 total KP.
Look at how they're doing it too. It's all Effect applying pressure on the ground, but Unlucky and Hawkins from up top. And so Effect is basically playing solo basically on the ground, and he doesn't care. He's able to get out with that Ash. Fortunately, will be banned out after this game, but it looks like they got the value out of it. Now Hawkins with the Kraber in hand. He's got the team controlled here as they're going for that peek onto NRG.
He's got 2.8K. He's about to hit 3K damage. Effect What did you eat today? Hockey's gets the follow-up off the Kraber shot. This is prime play right now. Just looking at the way Alliance is holding these different positions. You have Hockey's on the high ground with the Kraber. VKG playing inside that truck, but with Effect also playing on the outskirts together with Unlucky. It's putting enough pressure on the one team they're afraid of, which is NRG.
Yeah, they've got the Motherload down on top of NRG. Sykes is going to try his best to survive, but he cannot take a lick of damage there. Effect jumps in. Sykes gets the knock, and NRG might have slowed down Alliance enough. VK Gaming are now on the move for the third party.
They see the knock, and now VK Gaming trying to isolate the one member of Alliance that's held back. That was going to be Hockey's here. They fully dive onto him. They called him out, and now Alliance just down to a duel, and they're weak right now after they get the res.
Wall down there from their own Catalyst will slow them down just a bit, allowing Alliance to go for the reset. We've seen the 2v3s out from Alliance, but this time around, they don't have the eyes in the sky for themselves. VK Gaming take these a little bit too slow. There's the first knock, not quite yet from Effect.
Effect with the 9KP, almost 4K, 3.5, and he is beaming right now with the R9. Gold extended mag here. He gets the next knock. He is jumping around. The Ash Dash is in the air, but it's a Newcastle that he's put up against, as a Kraber shot is more than enough to finish off that knock. No playing around these knockdown shields, but he's looking to get aggressive.
Oh my god, QQ! What are you doing? He's come down to 1v1. That mobile shield making it extremely difficult, but Effect is jumping around like a spider monkey, and he doesn't know what to do. The shield swap isn't enough. Alliance secure the win once again. The 2v3 Demons. Alliance take game number 2.
Dude, 3.8k damage. Are you kidding me? Effect came out and chose violence. The Ash Dashes, the way he was moving, that was such a sick 1v1 off the crates there too, off the platform.